Most people are under the impression that when the ink is being removed, that you're actually lasering the ink off. And this isn't correct. What happens is that the laser actually gives a small burn over the area, making your immune system wake up. Once your immune system's woke up, it searches for the ink as well, which is sat in the dermal layers, and it says you shouldn't be there either, and it drags it back in through the system. So the treatment is all really based on your own immune system. The first question that most people ask me is, how many treatments is this going to take? The simple answer is that we don't know. We can never tell how many treatment that a client needs. It all depends on how deep that the ink has been pushed in by the tattooist through the dermal layers. It depends on the type of ink. It depends on one's own immune system, and it also depends on the age of the ink. Laser treatment to remove tattoos really does count on your immune system. It's important that when you're having laser treatment that you don't have a treatment when you have a cold or flu or you're getting over anything viral, because this can compromise the treatment and the results may not be as good. Most inks can be removed. Blacks is most probably the easiest. You can remove these by using a Q-switch YAG laser. You can change the wavelengths, which will remove different colours. Greens and purples though need a pico laser. There's very, very few in Britain of them, and because the prices of the machines are very high, this will reflect in your treatment price. Always be sceptical. If your laser technician said, I can definitely remove purples and greens, the fact is the chances are it's very unlikely. It may light them slightly, but this is due to repetitive lasering and not on the basis that it's coming back into the system. You will need a pico laser. We talk about tattoos being regrets with people. There's a couple of types that I've seen coming through the clinic that really do worry me. What happens is that a tattoo is tattooed in normal ink and then they highlight them using ultraviolet ink. Once you have that type of ink, you cannot have it removed. It's too dangerous. The ultraviolet comes back into your bloodstream, causing horrendous problems. Please, everybody really think about, if you're using ultraviolet, there's no way of going back. You can't get it removed. Here in clinic, we always do a patch test. This makes sure that our clients are always safe at all times with us. The reason why we do a patch test is some people can be allergic with the laser treatment. This is sometimes due to the fact that if a person has been tattooed and then decided to go over with another tattoo, the two inks heat up in the dermal layers and this can cause an allergic reaction. And the consequences of this is large swellings, blistering. It doesn't mean that everybody's exempt. It just means that the area, the amount of ink that we can laser at each treatment reduces greatly. I'm always asked, will it scar? The answer is, the scarring, if any, can sometimes be done by the actual tattooist. But how many of you guys actually go in a tattoo shop and say, hey, will this scar me? When that needle goes through all my tissue layers and rips into them, will it scar me? There's very few people that will say that. But what happens is when those needles go in through the dermal layers and it's ripping through the tissues, people don't really think. That's why it's really important to get a really good tattooist, somebody that really does understand and know what they're doing, somebody that's qualified. You can actually, though, be scarred by lasering. Not in my clinic. Scarring through lasering is only caused due to the machines being set too high. If you have them set too high, there's risk of serious scarring. In clinic, when we do our fade backs, you have to do them extremely carefully. You have to keep the settings really low. If you lose one little bit of the elasticity, what can happen is when the new inks go in, you can get a very slight bleed to them. It makes it look a little bit messy around the edges, I've just done a recently one for a young lady. The lady had a full black back piece. We faded it all back, and how we did it, we broke it into 8 parts, and every month she came and had 1 part lasered. Yes, it took time, but it's on your skin a long time, guys. It's no use just going to a guy around the corner that's going to put £20 worth of work on it. Remember the saying, you get what you pay for. You need to really research who you have your tattoos with. Just as I have a duty of care to you, you also have a duty of care to yourselves. Here in clinic, we make it that all our aftercare treatment is free. You have 100% backup from me as well. Any problems, any blistering, anything that you want to talk to me about or show me if you're unsure, you can always call the clinic. It's important that once you leave the clinic, the aftercare treatment I give you, the gels and the creams, it's important that you use them. If you don't use them, the skin will be very, very dry. The immune system won't be able to pull in the ink successfully through the skin. The results won't be as good. And if it's dry, when you come next time for your treatment, unfortunately, you will be turned away.